Zach here, full-time reseller, and it's a busy morning, getting ready to head out and go to a Thursday morning estate sale, which is kind of rare. But shout out to my buddy Phil, who also is a reseller, and my partner in crime for giving me that tip. Probably gonna go around and do some thrifting afterwards, and maybe even a little bit of retail arbitrage, kind of show you how I do it. So follow along, do a haul at the end. I'm outside of this estate sale right now. Got here a little bit late, but that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and run through and see if I can't find anything good to resell. Nice Tiffany lamp. Signed artist. Alright, so I'm gonna make a move on this Bose Soundwave stereo and 5-disc changer. Doesn't look like anybody's grabbed. Alright, not finding too much, but a lot of women's older shoes and women's older style clothing, but that's alright. Alright, lots of cool collectibles here. Okay, so this is my haul from the estate sale, and I was fortunate enough to scan some pictures of what was for sale the day before, and I did see this listed. And as I went into the house, I was a little bit late. There was already a lot of people here that got a lot of good stuff, but this was just sitting up on a TV shelf. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the remote, but it is a Bose 5-disc changer on the bottom, and then it's a Soundwave acoustic stereo 2 on top. I have sold one of these before for a lot of money, and so I'm thinking I should be able to get somewhere between $285 and $400 possibly, depending on how good I can list it and how patient I am. So I'm gonna go ahead and run back into the estate sale, see if I can't find anything small, try to look around for the remote some more, and go from there. So I like to sell a lot of Polaroid land cameras, but there's also some 35 millimeters here, and just a bunch of general camera equipment that's kind of old. So like I said, just digging through it and gonna see if any of it's worth anything. I'm rubbing the Buddha belly, hoping I can find this Bose remote that's missing from the deal. Looks like they got some old pots and house plants and outdoor stuff, but not finding anything real great out here. So I'm gonna wind it down and get the heck out of here, I think. All right, so spent a couple hours at that estate sale, which is kind of long for me. It was a huge house, had a lot of collectibles. Ended up just settling for the Bose 5 CD disc changer and the acoustic wave radio sound tower. Pretty good pickup. Should be able to make a few $100 off of that. Gonna be heavy to ship, unfortunately, but I've shipped like stuff like that before. So gonna go ahead and head down to the thrift store and just race through there really fast. And I'm pretty content with what I've got today, even though it was just one item. And so gotta dig deep and look hard when you're out doing estate sales. That's my advice for the day. So I've landed here at my local Goodwill. Just gonna race in here real quick, make my round, see if I can't find anything good to resell, say some highs to the management and the people I know that work here, and then get back down on the road. Maybe gonna go do some retail arbitrage to follow. Thanks for joining. I'm at my local Goodwill and I ran into a handful of Wrangler brush poppers, and several of them are the heavier material, but what makes these a little special is that they are 2X in size, but they're also tall. And so I went ahead and picked out the better colorways. They're all in great condition, and they are priced up a little bit at $6, but I could be able to sell these for $25 to $30 usually. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop them up. This Starbucks pour over set is new in package, but unfortunately it just doesn't sell for a whole lot online. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on it. It's too bad because the price is pretty low on it. So I found these Hewlett-Packard LaserJet toner cartridges, and I checked the comps on this 06A one, and they're not worth much. But the comps on these 03As are probably worth it. They sell for about $35 to $50. They do have them priced up at about $10 and some change. I might grab one of them, might even grab them both. I love selling printer ink. It's easy to sell, easy to list. Alrighty, so super happy to find these ink toner cartridge replacements. They both were $10 a piece. The sell-through rate on these is 120%. And so hopefully I should be able to make about somewhere between $35 and $50 a piece on these. Just got to keep your eye out for certain things that sell, that are rare, that people desire, and then you got to check the science by looking at your sell-through rates and your completed sales. So don't be lazy if you're out there thrifting, if you're out garage selling, look it up. Do the science, do the work. I'm making my way down to the local mall. Gonna go ahead and run inside of Ross and maybe the shoe store right next to Ross and see if I can't find anything on clearance. I do a little bit of retail arbitrage, not much, but I might go in there and see if we can't find anything, explain what to look for, and give you an idea of what to do and what not to do if you're gonna be buying new goods and arbitraging. So keep following along. Thanks for watching. I'm doing some retail arbitrage, and I'm inside of Ross, the clothing store, and I did find several of these Adidas Terex Tech Rock puffer jackets. They are listed for $39.99. The actual retail sales cost on the tag is $330, and I'm on the fence on these. If they were North Face, I might pick them up. I did check the sales and completed, and it does look like there's several listed for right around 80 to 100 bucks, but I'm not so sure I want to invest $40 to turn around and only make 50. And my experience with anything that's arbitrage is that after about a few days to a week, all the other Ross stores across the nation are going to have a flood of these jackets, and there'll be a whole bunch of resellers listing them online. So if you're not quick to get on the train and list them fast, you may have a lot of competition with trying to sell them. So thinking about picking up maybe one, but not sure I want to invest that much to only make 50 bucks. So just a little tip for you, be careful when you're doing arbitrage. If you go into Ross a lot, you'll see that there's a bunch of different Hoka shoes in the men's and women's aisle, and there's a whole slew of people that go in and do arbitrage sales. They'll buy these at the Ross cost, which is usually about $69 to $89, and then they'll turn around and flip them online. I tend to not do that just because I don't want to invest so much to make very little. I know there's money in it, and there's a lot of people out there that do it, but I just tend to do better selling used stuff. It's not to say I wouldn't pick up a pair, or if I have the finances to invest in goods from Ross to sell as a retail arbitrage item, I would do it. But I'm always staying on a budget, and I try to spread my money out. And for me, just selling used stuff, I do a lot better. So keep an eye out, and if you're into looking for a pair of Hokas for really cheap, try TJ Maxx or Ross. Sometimes you'll find some discontinued ones in odd colorways for a very cheap price. So when I do arbitrage, I'm always actually looking for limited edition Vans that are kind of funky or kind of ugly. I do tend to find those here, and a lot of times they're marked down to a very reasonable price, and there might be some desire across the country for somebody who wants that style or that colorway. And so keep your eyes out for discounted or clearance Vans that are kind of strange looking. Oftentimes there's a following of people that want those shoes. These are definitely not anything that are desired, so just gonna go ahead and put them back on the shelf, but just wanted to throw that tip out there. Vans are great to resell if you're doing arbitrage, and you can get them for the right price. When I'm doing arbitrage, I like to look for clearance New Era hats, North Face hats, even Carhartt hats. And sometimes if you can find them cheap enough, they're good enough to buy and then resell for a little bit of profit. But not really seeing anything like that today, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next place. So this is a vintage baby Snoopy plush doll, and it's older, but unfortunately it's missing some of its clothes, and it really just doesn't sell for much in this condition. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip on it, but I always love looking at the toy section, and I'm looking for vintage plush, old G.I. Joes, Hot Wheels cars, dinky toys, anything like that that's kind of old and collectible. So I found these San Antonio Shoe Company loafers, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab them for $3. They're definitely worth that. Probably could sell them for about $28 to $35, and because they are solid sellers, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop them. Well, after leaving the estate sale I was at this morning, I was unable to locate the remote that went to the Bose Wave 2 acoustic stereo sound system, and I really wanted to find that remote, but it was almost like trying to find a needle in a haystack. So I went home, ate some lunch, did a little bit of paperwork, and I decided to come back, and wouldn't you know that the people who are running the estate sale actually let me go into the personal office of the homeowner, and I found the remote. So I'm super grateful for them. They didn't charge me anything. They just let me have it because I paid for the system. So now this definitely increases the value of the sound system, and I'm super happy. Just truth, you can't give up on things. Keep trying. So I am back home now. I'm going to share with you my haul as promised. And I did pick up the 3 Wrangler shirts. 2 of the 3 are the heavier material. And as I said earlier in the video, I did pay $6 and some change for each of these shirts. But the 2 heavier brush poppers should be able to go for somewhere between $24 to $30 if I'm patient. And then the lighter weight one would probably realistically more like $18 to $24. Just depending on how patient and how good I list it. And then as I come down over here, I did pick up the San Antonio shoes. Paid $3 for those. Should easily get somewhere between $28 and $35 for them. I sell a lot of these. And then over here is the HP LaserJet toner cartridge replacements, and I paid $10 and some change for each of these, but the sell-through rate was phenomenal. It was 120% listed under this style and model, and so I'm happy with that. I should be able to get somewhere between $35 to $50 a piece on these, so I'm super cool with that, and with the sell-through rate being that high, they should sell hopefully pretty quick. And then the big score of the day, as I showed you earlier, was the Bose acoustic radio and the Bose 5-disc changer on the bottom. I'm not sure if I'm going to separate these or sell them together. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but combined I should easily get somewhere between $250 and $400 for these, and I do have to clean them both up. They're both very dusty, and there's a little bit of grime on the white radio tower, but that's all right. So that being said, I did spend some money today. I did invest a little bit, but that's what this is all about. It's about investing your money in a small short-term time period to hopefully turn around and make a good profit. And I do this for a living. So thanks for joining in. I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, as always, please hit like, make a comment if you've seen me pass by something that was good and I didn't know it, because I love to learn more about reselling. And if you would, please subscribe.